Norasu, let's get a fake divorce. Jace Gu took off his military cap, looking at me with a solemn expression. Outside, the spring rain drizzled endlessly, leaving his uniform damp. My teacup paused in my hand as memories from my past life flooded back like a tide. In April 1975, Military District Commander Jace Gu told me we needed a fake divorce to carry out an important mission. In my past life, I believed it, for the so-called greater good, for his future. I agreed, and the result? A fake divorce turned into real abandonment. He actually ended up with that female agent, Zoe Bai. As for me, I spent 10 years alone as a teacher in the countryside. When I saw him again, he had become a commander of some department, with Zoe Bai in military uniform standing by his side. That was when I finally understood. The fake divorce, the mission, it was all a lie. Why the fake divorce? I asked calmly, as if inquiring about today's weather. There's a mission from the organization that requires me to be single to carry it out. Jace Gu sat down, speaking earnestly. At most a year. Once the mission is over, we'll remarry. A year. In my past life, I waited 10 years, only to receive news of his marriage to someone else. All right. I set down the teacup, smiling brightly. I agree. Jace Gu was visibly stunned. He had prepared a whole speech about the greater good of the revolution, mutual understanding between spouses, and temporary separation. Yet my simple all right left all his words stuck in his throat. You really agree? He asked tentatively. Of course I agree. I stood up and patted my apron. When do we start the paperwork? Norasu, aren't you going to ask why? A flicker of panic flashed through Jace Gu's eyes. In my past life, I did asked in great detail, and worried so much I couldn't sleep all night. Why should I ask in this lifetime? It's all lies anyway. You said it's for the mission. I walked toward the kitchen. Since it's for the revolutionary cause, of course I support it. But, there's no but about it. I turned to look at him. You're a revolutionary soldier. I'm a soldier's family member. It's only right to follow the organization's arrangements. Jace Gu couldn't refute this. But his expression grew even more bewildered, because in my past life, I had cried all night long, holding on to him and refusing to let go. This calm reaction now was completely unexpected to him. Then shall we go through the formalities tomorrow? He tentatively asked. Sure, what time tomorrow? I tied on an apron in the kitchen and started preparing dinner. How about 9 in the morning? Got it. My voice came from the kitchen. What do you want for dinner? This casual tone made Jace Gu even more uneasy. The Norasu he had imagined should have been crying, reluctant, and utterly unwilling to let go. But now, this Norasu is as calm as if she were discussing tomorrow's work schedule. Whatever, he replied absent-mindedly. Then I'll make your favorite braised pork, I said, my tone still light. Consider it an early celebration for your mission's success. Jace Gu sat in the living room, listening to the clatter of pots and pans from the kitchen, his emotions indescribably complex. Is this really the Norasu he knew? The Norasu who would act coquettish over the smallest things? The Norasu who would cry if he was away on a business trip for just one day? How could she be so calm about something as big as divorce? Norasu, he stood up and walked toward the kitchen. What's wrong? I continued chopping the meat without looking up. Are you really not bothered by it? Bothered by what? We're getting a divorce. I stopped what I was doing and turned to look at him. Those eyes that once fascinated me now seemed utterly ordinary. It's just a fake divorce, I smiled. Didn't you say we'd remarry within a year at most? A year will pass quickly, but this year, we won't be husband and wife anymore. So what? I started cutting the meat again. It's fake anyway. What does it matter? This left Jace Gu completely speechless, because even he himself wasn't sure whether it was actually fake or not. The organization had indeed assigned him a mission, requiring him to approach the target under the guise of being single. And that target was none other than the female agent, Zoe Bai. But, at first glance of Zoe Bai, Jace Gu realized this mission was more than just work to him. Zoe Bai was beautiful, intelligent, and brave, possessing a heroic aura that Norasu lacked. What's more important is that Zoe Bai understands his work, understands his ideals, and can fight alongside him. And what about Norasu? Though virtuous and gentle, she could never truly comprehend the yearning deep within his heart. So when the organization assigned this mission, Jace-Gu was actually delighted inside. This gave him a legitimate reason to pursue the feelings he truly desired. But now, seeing Norisu's indifferent demeanor, he couldn't help but feel a pang of discomfort in his heart. Did their marriage really hold so little significance in her heart? "Dinner's ready." Norisu's voice pulled him out of his thoughts. 3 dishes and a soup were laid out on the dining table, all his usual favorites: braised pork, steamed perch, garlic greens, and a bowl of white fungus and lotus seed soup. "Aren't you eating?" He looked at Norisu. "I'm not very hungry." Norisu sat down and served him a bowl of rice. "Eat more. Missions are exhausting." Such considerate words, paired with that indifferent face, gave Jace-Gu an indescribable sense of dissonance. "Norisu, are you a bit different today?" "How so?" "I can't quite put my finger on it, but it feels like you've changed." I picked up a piece of braised pork and put it in my mouth. The taste was still as sweet and delicious as ever. In my past life, I learned to cook for him, gave up my job for him, and moved to this remote military base for him. And then what? Yet for another woman, he abandoned me without hesitation. "Perhaps it's because I've come to understand," I said calmly. "Since it's for the revolutionary cause, I should support you. What have you figured out?" "I've realized that couples should understand and support each other," I said, looking at him. "Your career is more important than anything, and I shouldn't be a burden to you." These words struck Jace-Gu deeply, because this was exactly what he had wanted to say but didn't dare to voice. Norisu truly didn't understand his work, nor did she comprehend his ideals. She simply wanted a stable home, a husband who cherished her. Yet what he desired was a partner who could understand him, support him, and even stand by his side in battle. "Norisu, let's eat. The food is getting cold," I interrupted him. "After we finish the procedures tomorrow, you can focus on the mission." Jace-Gu ate in silence, his mood even more complicated than before. Although Norisu's reaction had made his plan proceed smoothly, it also left him with a sense of loss. It was as if he had expected a fierce argument. But the other party simply dismissed it with a casual whatever. "This feeling is strange and very uncomfortable." "Norisu, what are your plans after the divorce?" he tentatively asked. "I'll go back to the county town to teach." I put down my chopsticks. My teaching college diploma is still valid, so the schools in the county should be willing to hire me. This answer surprised Jace-Gu even more, because in her previous life, Norisu had never mentioned wanting to work. She only aspired to be a virtuous wife and mother. "You want to work, of course," I said matter-of-factly. "A woman shouldn't rely solely on a man. She should have her own career." These words completely overturned Jace-Gu's understanding of Norisu. Is this woman before him really the Norisu he once knew? At 9 o'clock the next morning, we arrived punctually at the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau. The clerk was a middle-aged woman in her 40s, and she visibly paused when she saw our letter of introduction, Military District Commander. She looked up at Jace-Gu, then at me. "Are you sure you want a divorce?" "Certainly," I replied with a beaming smile. "Please hurry it up, we're both very busy." This attitude left the clerk even more bewildered. Most couples coming to file for divorce are either fuming with anger or in tears. It's quite rare to see someone as cheerful and relaxed as us. Comrade, are you absolutely sure about this?" The clerk tried to mediate. "Any conflicts between spouses can be resolved through discussion." "No conflict," I said before Jace-Gu could speak. "It's work-related." "Work-related? Yes, revolutionary work-related," I said with a straight face. "For the sake of the revolutionary cause, we're willing to make sacrifices." The reason was too powerful for the clerk to refute. "What about the division of assets?" "The house goes to me, and we'll split the savings equally." I had already made up my mind. "We won't claim anything else." Jace-Gu glanced at me, as if wanting to say something but then holding back, because he truly hadn't considered the issue of asset division. In his view, this was merely a formality, but Norisu's request was reasonable, so he couldn't really object. "All right, I'll process the paperwork for you," the clerk said, starting to fill out the forms. The entire process went smoothly, and within half an hour, we had our divorce certificates in hand. The moment we stepped out of the Civil Affairs office, a spring breeze brushed against my face, and I felt an unprecedented sense of relief. "Norisu," Jace-Gu called out to me. "What else is there?" I turned back to look at him. "You Really don't regret it. Regret what? I waved the divorce certificate in my hand. Isn't this what you wanted? I mean, he hesitated. Are you just going to leave like this, otherwise? I asked matter-of-factly, we're already divorced, of course I'm leaving. But, Jace, I interrupted him, calling him by his full name for the first time instead of just Jace. From now on, we're strangers. You have your mission, I have my life, we have nothing to do with each other. These words made Jace's expression change. He suddenly realized that Nora Sue was truly leaving. It wasn't a fake divorce, nor a temporary separation, but a genuine parting of ways. Nora Sue, wait. There's nothing left to wait for. I turned and walked away, wishing you success in your mission and a bright future ahead. Watching Nora Sue's figure disappear around the street corner, an unprecedented sense of panic surged in Jace's heart. This was not the outcome he had wanted. In his plan, Nora Sue should have been waiting for him at home, waiting for his mission to end, waiting for him to return and remarry. But now, Nora Sue had truly left, and he left so resolutely, so effortlessly. Chief. Adjutant Li Ming approached from the side. The car is ready. Jace responded absent-mindedly. Chief, are you all right? Li Ming asked with concern. You look a bit pale. It's nothing. Jace forced himself to perk up. Let's go meet Comrade Zoe Bai. Yes. This afternoon he was going to meet Zoe Bai and officially begin this mission. But now, his mood was nothing like the excitement he had imagined. Instead, he felt an inexplicable emptiness, as if he had lost something important. On the other side, carrying simple luggage, I boarded the bus heading to the county town. The scenery outside the window rapidly receded, just like my past, growing farther and farther away from me. In my previous life, I cried the entire journey on this bus, wondering when Jace would come to take me back. But in this life, I was exceptionally calm, even in the mood to appreciate the scenery along the way. In April, the Jiangnan region is brimming with the vitality of spring, with scenes of thriving life everywhere. Comrade, are you going to work in the county town? The aunt sitting next to me initiated the conversation. Yes, I'm going to be a teacher, I replied with a smile. Being a teacher is wonderful, it's a respected profession, the aunt said enviously. You're so young and already a teacher. You must be very educated. Just so, I said modestly. I graduated from a teacher's college. Teacher's college, the aunt's eyes lit up. That's a prestigious institution. Your family must be very proud of you. Family, in my previous life, when my parents found out about my divorce, they nearly fainted from anger. This time around, I haven't figured out how to break the news to them yet, but looking back now, my parents might have had a point when they opposed my marriage to Jace. They said being a soldier's wife wasn't easy, that Jace was too outstanding and might change his heart in the future. At the time, I dismissed their concerns, thinking they were overreacting. Now it seems, the older ginger is indeed spicier. They should be proud of me, I said to the aunt, because I can finally live on my own abilities. You're such an interesting child. The aunt laughed. Living on your own abilities. Isn't that just how it should be? Yes, living on your own abilities. That's how it should be. Why did my past self think relying on men was the natural order of things? Perhaps it was the mindset of that era. Or perhaps it was because I loved Jace too much. Loved to the point of losing myself. Loved to the point of forgetting the importance of independence. In this lifetime, I will never make the same mistake again. The bus arrived at the county town at dusk. I carried my luggage out of the station, gazing at the familiar streets before me, feeling a long-lost sense of warmth rise in my heart. This is where I grew up, where my roots lie. Here, I am not someone's wife. Not someone's appendage. I am simply myself, Nora Sue, an intellectual who graduated from a teacher's college, an independent woman capable of supporting herself. I want to start anew here and create a life of my own. The principal of County No.1 High School is surnamed Chen, an intellectual in his 50s who wears thick glasses and speaks in a measured tone. Comrade Nora Sue, I've roughly understood your situation, Principal Chen said, looking at my resume. You majored in English at a teacher's college, with excellent grades and teaching internship experience. Yes, Principal, I replied, sitting up straight and presenting my best demeanor. But I have a question. Principal Chen looked up at me. Why did you leave the military district to come teach in our county town? This was a sensitive question, and I had prepared my answer long ago. Because I want to contribute to the educational development of my hometown, I said earnestly. Cities have abundant educational resources, and my individual role there would be limited, but in a county town, I can make a greater impact. My answer made Principal Chen nod in approval. Having ideals and awareness, he expressed his appreciation. We truly need young intellectuals like you to take root at the grassroots level now. Thank you for the principal's recognition. When can we start working? Principal Chen asked. Anytime, I answered without hesitation. I'm fully prepared. Good. Principal Chen slapped the table. Let's start tomorrow. You'll first teach English to the second-year high school class, with 4 to 5 students in each class. No problem. Leaving the principal's office, I was in a great mood. It feels wonderful to start working again, especially doing something I love. In my previous life, I taught for 10 years and accumulated a wealth of experience. In this life, I will apply all these experiences to help students learn more knowledge. That very afternoon, I went to see the class I would be teaching, Class 3 of Grade 11, with 4 to 5 students aged 16 or 17, is at the age when their thirst for knowledge is strongest. Class, I am your new English teacher, Nora-Sue, I said, standing at the podium, facing 4 to 5 pairs of curious eyes. Teacher, you look so young. A female student raised her hand and said, being young has its advantages. I can understand your thoughts better, I replied with a smile, but age isn't important. What matters is whether I can teach you well. Teacher, is English hard to learn? A male student asked. Not at all, with the right approach. English can actually be quite fun. I wrote a few words on the blackboard. Look, do you recognize these words? The students looked at the blackboard, some shaking their heads, others making guesses. This is hello, this is thank you, and this is good morning. I explained one by one. Actually, you already know how to speak English. You just didn't realize it. We can speak English. The students were astonished. Of course, who hasn't said hello before? I made a greeting gesture. That's English right there. Laughter erupted in the classroom, instantly lightening the previously tense atmosphere. This was a teaching method I had developed in my past life. First, eliminate students' fear, making them realize English isn't so scary after all. In the following days, I threw myself wholeheartedly into the teaching work. Days were spent teaching, nights preparing lessons. Life became fulfilling and meaningful. The students also really enjoy my classes because my teaching methods are fresh and interesting, not as rigid as other teachers. Teacher Sue, you teach so well. Class monitor Xiaoli said to me after class. I used to dread English the most. But now I actually look forward to it. As long as you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach, I said while organizing my lesson plans. The most important thing in learning a language is interest. Teacher Sue, have you seen a lot of the world outside? Xiaoli asked curiously. The foreign stories you tell are so fascinating. Having seen the world, if rebirth counts as seeing the world, then I certainly have. Reading is also a way to see the world, I said to Xiaoli. You don't necessarily have to travel everywhere. Reading widely can also broaden your horizons. I understand, Teacher Sue. Xiaoli nodded thoughtfully. Looking at these students who are eager for knowledge, a sense of accomplishment welled up in my heart. This is the life I truly want. Meaningful, valuable, and entirely my own, unlike my past life, where I devoted all my energy to JSGU and neglected my own existence. Returning to the dormitory in the evening, I began writing my teaching journal. This was a habit formed in my past life, recording daily teaching reflections to facilitate future improvements. While I was writing, the dormitory manager, Old Wang, knocked on the door. Xiao Su, there's a letter for you. Old Wang handed me an envelope. I took it and saw the sender was Jace Gu. The handwriting on the envelope was familiar, his usual neat regular script. I hesitated for a moment, then opened the letter. The letter read, Nora-Su, are you doing well in the county town? I'm very worried about you living alone. If you encounter any difficulties, please don't hesitate to contact me immediately. Also, my mission is progressing smoothly and is expected to be completed ahead of schedule. When I return, we can remarry. Jace Gu. After reading this letter, I couldn't help but laugh. Jace Gu really thought this was a fake divorce. He believed I would be waiting at home in misery. thinking I'd be heartbroken from missing him, unfortunately, in this lifetime. I won't fall for the same trick again. I picked up the pen and wrote a brief reply. Jace GU, I'm doing well in the county town. My work is going smoothly, and my life is fulfilling. Focus on your mission and don't worry about me. Besides, we're already divorced, and there's no need to remarry. Wishing you all the best. Nora Sue. After finishing the letter, I sealed it in an envelope to mail out tomorrow. Let Jace GU put this matter to rest once and for all. In this life, I, Nora Sue, will live for myself. A month later, my teaching work had completely settled into a smooth routine. The students' English grades showed significant improvement, especially in their speaking skills, which were noticeably better than other classes. Principal Chen was also very satisfied with my performance and praised me at the school-wide faculty meeting. Comrade Nora Sue's teaching methods are worth learning from, Principal Chen said. She not only helps students acquire knowledge but, more importantly, inspires their interest in learning. This recognition gives me a great sense of achievement. In my previous life, when I taught in the countryside, I worked hard but was limited by the conditions, which restricted my potential. In this life, in the county town, I can finally fully utilize my talents. After class in the afternoon, I was grading homework in the office when footsteps sounded at the door. Is teacher Nora Sue here? A man's voice asked. I looked up and saw a young man in a Zhongshan suit, probably around 27 or 28 years old, wearing glasses and looking refined. That would be me. And you are? My name is Zhong Jiyuan, from the County Cultural Bureau. He walked into the office. I'd like to have a talk with you. Cultural Bureau. I put down the workbook in my hand and motioned for him to sit. Comrade Zhong, what brings you here? It's like this. The county is planning to organize an English training course and would like to invite you to be the main instructor. Zhong Jiyuan said straightforwardly. An English training course? That's actually an interesting proposal. What kind of training course specifically? I asked. It's mainly aimed at county cadres and intellectuals, using evenings and weekends to study English, Zhong Jiyuan explained. Now the call for reform and opening up is growing louder, and the importance of English is becoming increasingly evident. Reform and opening up. In 1975, there were indeed signs of this, though it hadn't been formally proposed yet. Zhong Jiyuan's ability to recognize this shows his foresight. That's a great idea, I agreed, but I have teaching duties during the day. So time-wise it might be. The schedule can be flexible. The main thing is we'd like to hear your thoughts, Zhong Jiyuan said. We've heard your English proficiency is excellent, and your teaching methods are quite advanced. Thank you for the kind words, I replied modestly. I'll certainly consider it. That's wonderful. Zhong Jiyuan said, visibly pleased. If you agree, we can discuss the specific arrangements in detail. After seeing Zhong Jiyuan off, I began to seriously consider this proposal. Running an English training class is indeed a good idea. It can both spread knowledge and increase income. More importantly, it would allow me to build a broader network of connections in the county. In my past life, I was too naive, always burying myself in teaching and rarely interacting with the outside world. In this life, I want to be more proactive and establish my own influence in society. A few days later, I officially accepted Zhong Jiyuan's invitation. The English training class is scheduled for Wednesday and Friday evenings and Saturday afternoons, held at the County Cultural Center. The first batch of trainees consisted of over 30 people, including county government officials, hospital doctors, factory engineers, and others. Comrades, welcome to the English training class. I stood on the podium, facing these adult students. I am Nora Sue, and I'm very happy to be of service to you. The students below the stage were all very attentive, some holding notebooks, others with tape recorders, showing great enthusiasm for learning. Teacher, we're all getting on in years. Isn't it too late for us to learn English? Asked a cadre in his 40s. It's never too late to learn. I encouraged him. Moreover, you have life experience and strong comprehension skills, which actually give you an advantage. Teacher, what's the use of learning English? An engineer asked. It's very useful. I wrote a few English technical terms on the blackboard. For example, these words frequently appear in engineering technical materials. If you understand English, you can directly read advanced technical materials from abroad. This example was very persuasive. and the students' enthusiasm for learning grew even higher. The training course was surprisingly effective, the students made rapid progress, and its reputation grew better and better. Soon, people from other counties came to inquire, wanting to set up similar training programs. "Teacher Sue, you're truly amazing." Jong Ji-yoon praised me endlessly. "Your name is spreading throughout the entire region now. You flatter me. It's all thanks to the students' hard work." I said. "You're too modest," Jong Ji-yoon replied. "I heard the provincial authorities are also paying attention to our training program and might invite you to share your experience. At the provincial level, this is indeed an unexpected gain. If I can make an appearance at the provincial level, it would greatly benefit my future development." Just as we were talking, the office door was knocked. "Come in," Jong Ji-yoon said. The door opened, and a man in military uniform entered. I looked up and was surprised to see Li Ming, Jae-soo's adjutant. "Sue, Professor Sue," Li Ming stammered nervously when he saw me. "Comrade Li, what brings you here?" I asked calmly. It's the chief who sent me," Li Ming stammered. "He wants to see you." "Jae-soo wants to see me. This is quite unexpected. By the timeline, his mission shouldn't be over yet. How does he have time to come see me?" "Where is the chief?" I asked. "He's at the county guest house," Li Ming said. He mentioned having something important to discuss with you." "Something important?" I sneered inwardly. It was nothing more than him realizing I wasn't waiting at home for him, so he couldn't sit still anymore. "Please tell him I'm very busy and don't have time to meet." I refused bluntly. But the chief said this matter is very important," Li Ming said hesitantly. "No matter how important it is, it's not as important as my work," I insisted. "We're already divorced. There's no need to meet." These words made Li Ming turn pale, and Jong Ji-yoon was also stunned. "Teacher Sue, you divorced the military district commander?" Jong Ji-yoon asked cautiously. "Yes," I admitted frankly. "It's a personal matter, and it's already been resolved." Seeing my firm attitude, Li Ming had no choice but to leave. After he left, Jong Ji-yoon asked with concern, "Professor Sue, are you alright?" "It's fine. It's all in the past," I said with a smile. "My life now is good, very fulfilling." Jong Ji-yoon glanced at me, hesitating to speak. Finally, he said, "Professor Sue, if there's anything you need help with, just say the word." "Thank you," I said sincerely, "but I'm really fine." When I returned to the dormitory at night, my mood was not as calm as it appeared on the surface. Jae-soo's sudden appearance was definitely not a good thing. Could he have discovered something? Did his task go wrong? No matter what, I won't be affected by him anymore. In this life, I will stick to my choices and never look back. The next morning, as soon as I stepped out of the dormitory building, I saw Jae-soo standing downstairs. He was still wearing that impeccably tailored military uniform, but his face looked much more haggard than a month ago. "Nora-soo." When he saw me, a flicker of complex emotions flashed through his eyes. "What brings you here?" I stopped in my tracks, my tone cold. "I want to talk to you." He approached me. "About us. We have nothing to talk about." I walked past him and continued forward. "You should focus on your mission. Nora-soo, listen to me." Jae-soo followed. "I don't want to hear it." I quickened my pace. "Besides, this is a school. Your behavior is affecting my work." Jae-soo was taken aback by my attitude. In my past life, whenever I saw him, my eyes would always well up with tears, and I couldn't resist throwing myself into his arms. But in this life, I'm as cold as a stranger. "Nora-soo, you've changed," he said solemnly. "People always change," I replied without turning my head. "I'm doing fine now, no need for your concern." "But we're already divorced." I stopped walking and turned to look at him. "Jae-soo, what exactly do you want to say?" Facing my icy gaze, Jae-soo suddenly seemed at a loss for words. What he had meant to say was, "Isn't our divorce just a pretense?" But now it appeared that Nora-soo didn't consider it fake at all. I think the task might need to be delayed." That was all he could say. "What does that have to do with me?" I retorted. "Your task is your business, and I have my own life." "But we had an agreement." "We had no agreement at all." I cut him off. "It was your unilateral decision to get a divorce. I just agreed to it." This left Jae-soo speechless, because it was indeed true. He had been the one driving this matter from start to finish. "Nora-soo, I know you're angry with me." "I'm not angry," I said calmly. "I just feel we no longer have any connection." It doesn't matter. Jae-soo's voice rose. We've been married for 3 years. That was the past. I interrupted. Now we're strangers. The word strangers deeply stung Jae-soo. He suddenly realized that Nora-soo truly intended to sever all ties with him completely. Nora-soo, do you really hate me that much? His voice trembled slightly. Hate, in my past life, I did hate, with a pain that tore my heart apart, but in this life, I no longer hate, because it's not worth wasting emotions on someone who doesn't deserve them. I don't hate you, I said honestly, I just don't have feelings for you anymore. These words were even harder for Jae-soo to accept than hatred, because hatred at least indicates there are still emotions, while having no feelings means complete indifference. Impossible, he said agitatedly. You can't possibly have no feelings for me. Why is it impossible? I looked at him as if he were an incomprehensible stranger. Feelings come and go quickly, but you used to love me so much. The past is the past, and the present is the present. My tone remained calm. Jae-soo, you need to understand one thing. When a woman completely lets go of a man, she truly lets go. These words struck Jae-soo's heart like a heavy hammer. He suddenly remembered what Zoe Bai had once said. Men think a woman's heart is like a rubber band, able to stretch and snap back at will, but in truth, a woman's heart is glass. Once broken, it can never be pieced back together. At the time, he didn't take it seriously, but now he understood it deeply. Nora-soo, he wanted to salvage something. Enough, I said, glancing at my watch. I have to go to work. Please leave. With that, I strode away, leaving Jae-soo standing alone where he was. Entering the office, my emotions weren't as calm as they appeared on the surface. After all, we had been married for 3 years. Seeing each other still stirred some ripples, but I knew these ripples were just force of habit, not a sign that I still had feelings. Teacher Sue, are you okay? Colleague Xiao Li asked with concern. You look a bit pale. I'm fine. Probably didn't sleep well last night. I sat down and started preparing for today's class. I just saw an officer downstairs. Was he looking for you? Xiao Li asked curiously. Yes, someone I knew before, I replied briefly. Not wanting to elaborate, officer, he looks quite handsome. Xiao Li continued gossiping. You and him, it's nothing. I cut her off. That's all in the past. Seeing that I didn't want to elaborate, Xiao Li stopped pressing further. The morning class went smoothly, and the students were all in good form. But I can't help but think of Jae-soo's expression just now, that look of shock, pain, and disbelief. Perhaps he truly believed I would wait for him forever. Perhaps he really thought this was just a game. Unfortunately, in this life, I won't be playing along with his act anymore. After class, Principal Chen came to see me. Nora-soo, there's something I'd like to discuss with you, Principal Chen said. The Provincial Department of Education is organizing an English teaching seminar in our county, and they'd like you to give a keynote speech. A keynote speech? I was somewhat surprised. Yes. Mainly to introduce your teaching methods and the experience from your training class, Principal Chen said. This is a great opportunity. It's indeed a great opportunity. If I can make an appearance at the provincial level, it will greatly benefit my future development. Of course, I'm willing. I agreed without hesitation. That's good. Principal Chen was pleased. The meeting will be held next month, so you have time to prepare your speech. No problem. I'll prepare carefully. Walking out of the principal's office, I was in a great mood. With a thriving career and a fulfilling, meaningful life, this is exactly the kind of life I want. As for Jae-soo, let him savor the taste of regret on his own. A week later, I received a special letter. The sender was Zoe Bai. Zoe Bai. I carefully examined the envelope, and it was indeed that name. Opening the letter, it read, Comrade Nora-soo, I am Zoe Bai. Although we have never met, I believe you should know who I am. I would like to meet with you. There are some things that need to be discussed in person. If it's convenient for you, please come to the provincial capital this weekend. The address is Zoe Bai. After reading this letter, I couldn't help but laugh. Zoe Bai actually took the initiative to reach out to me. This is quite interesting. In my past life, I had never met her, only catching a distant glimpse of her at Jae-soo's wedding. In this lifetime, she actually took the initiative to meet up. Who knows what she's up to? Still, I'm quite curious about her. I want to see what kind of charm this woman has that could captivate Jae-soo so completely. Early Saturday morning, I took the bus to the provincial capital. The meeting place was a tea house, quiet and perfect for conversation. I had just sat down when I saw a woman in military uniform walk in. This was Zoe Bai. She was indeed beautiful, with delicate features and an outstanding presence. Exuding a spirited aura, no wonder Jace Gu was so captivated by her. "So you're Norasu?" Zoe Bai walked up to me and sat down directly. "Yes," I sized her up, "and you're Zoe Bai." "That's me." She was also looking me over. "You're not what I imagined." "How so?" "I thought you'd be the clingy type." "But," she paused, "I didn't expect you to be so composed. Maybe it's because I've let go." I poured myself a cup of tea. "Comrade Bai, what brings you here?" "I want to talk to you about Jace Gu." Zoe Bai got straight to the point. "What's there to talk about?" I said indifferently. "We're already divorced." "I know you got divorced, but I also know it was a fake divorce." Zoe Bai stared into my eyes. "For the sake of the mission, fake divorce?" I feigned surprise. "Who told you it was a fake divorce?" "Jace Gu," Zoe Bai said. "He told me you two were just temporarily separated and would remarry once the mission was over." He said that. I couldn't help but laugh. Then he must have misunderstood something. "What do you mean?" Zoe Bai's expression grew tense. "It means our divorce is real, with no pretense involved," I said calmly. I thought he had already understood that. These words caused Zoe Bai's face to pale dramatically. "Impossible," she exclaimed agitatedly. "He clearly told me." "It doesn't matter what he told you. What matters is the truth," I interrupted her. "The truth is, there's no longer any relationship between me, Norasu, and Jace Gu." Zoe Bai remained silent for a long time, her facial expression shifting uncertainly. You really don't love him anymore?" she tentatively asked. "Love is such a strange thing," I mused. "It arrives with great fanfare, but departs without a sound. But you've had 3 years of feelings." 3 years of feelings are indeed precious, but they can't withstand one thorough betrayal. I looked at her. "Comrade Bai, you should understand this principle." Zoe Bai's expression grew even more unpleasant, because she suddenly realized that Jace Gu might have been deceiving her all along, talking about a fake divorce, talking about a temporary separation. It was all to put her mind at ease. In reality, he still couldn't bear to let go of Norasu. "Norasu, I want to ask you a question." Zoe Bai took a deep breath. "If Jace Gu were to come back now, would you take him back?" This question is crucial, and I must answer it just right. "Comrade Bai, do you think a crushed flower can bloom again?" I retorted. "No," Zoe Bai replied in a low voice. "That settles it." I stood up. "You should understand my answer now." "Wait," Zoe Bai called out to me. "There's one more thing I want to ask you." "What is it?" "Do you still hold any resentment towards Jace Gu?" "Resentment?" I thought about it carefully and realized there really isn't any left. "No," I answered honestly. "Holding on to hatred is exhausting. I don't want to waste that energy." "Do you wish him happiness?" "I do." I nodded. Everyone has the right to pursue happiness, including him. With that, I left the tea house, leaving Zoe Bai sitting there alone. On the way back to the county town, I kept thinking about the significance of this meeting. Zoe Bai wanted to meet with me. Surely because Jace Gu's attitude had unsettled her. Perhaps Jace Gu has been talking about me a lot lately, making her doubt whether he has truly moved on. That's fine. Let them sort it out themselves. I have more important matters to attend to. The seminar organized by the Provincial Department of Education is about to begin, and I must prepare my speech. This is a crucial turning point in my life, and there must be no mistakes. The English teaching seminar hosted by the Provincial Department of Education commenced as scheduled, with English teachers from across the province gathering in one place. As the keynote speaker, I was the first to take the stage and share my experience. "Hello everyone, I'm Norasu from County No. 1 High School, and I'm honored to share my insights on English teaching with you all." There were over 200 people in the audience, all of them key English teaching professionals from across the province. But I wasn't nervous at all, because in my past life, I had attended similar meetings and knew exactly how to handle it. Traditional English teaching focuses too much on grammar and vocabulary while neglecting practicality. I believe the purpose of language learning is communication, not just passing exams. My speech sparked a lively response, with many teachers taking careful notes. Teacher Sue's method is quite innovative and worth learning from, a teacher in the audience said. "Yes, This situational teaching method is indeed effective, another teacher chimed in. After the speech, Director Wang from the Provincial Department of Education specifically sought me out for a conversation. Comrade Nora Su, your speech was brilliant, Director Wang said. The province is preparing an English teacher training program and would like to invite you to be the lead instructor. A provincial training program. I was somewhat surprised. Yes, it's mainly for training key English teachers from across the province, Director Wang explained. If you're willing, you could be transferred to work at the Provincial Department of Education. This was like manna from heaven. Being transferred to work at the Provincial Department of Education means a qualitative leap in my career, Director Wang. Of course I'm willing, I agreed without hesitation. When can I start? You can begin the transfer procedures next month. Director Wang was very pleased. With talents like you joining us, our English teaching standards are sure to reach a new level. Returning from the provincial capital to the county town, I was in an excellent mood. This seminar not only gave me exposure in the provincial English education community but also earned me the opportunity to be transferred to work at the provincial level. This is the life I want, achieving success and recognition through my own abilities. Congratulations, Teacher Su. Principal Chen, though somewhat reluctant to see me go, was genuinely happy for me upon hearing about my transfer to the provincial level. This is an honor for our county. Thank you for your guidance. Principal, I said sincerely, without your support, I wouldn't have achieved what I have today. You're too modest, Principal Chen said. This is all the result of your own hard work. The news spread quickly, and soon the whole county was abuzz with talk of the matter. Teacher Su is going to work in the provincial capital. How remarkable. If you've got the skills, of course you should aim higher. I heard the provincial leaders think highly of her. These praises were very gratifying to me and further strengthened my resolve. That evening, as I was organizing my things in the dormitory, there was a knock at the door. Come in. The door opened, and Jace Gu walked in. Why are you here again? I frowned. I heard you're being transferred to work in the provincial office. His expression was grim. News travels fast. I continued packing my things. Yes, I'm leaving next month. Why didn't you discuss it with me? Jace Gu's tone was somewhat agitated. Why should I discuss it with you? I retorted. My work has nothing to do with you. How could it not? We're already divorced. I interrupted him. Jace Gu. When will you finally accept this fact? I can't accept this. He punched the wall. Norasu, you can't do this to me. How have I treated you? I looked at him coldly. You were the one who wanted a divorce. Now that I'm doing well, you can't accept it. I told you it was a fake divorce. Jace Gu roared. Fake divorce. I sneered. Does your comrade Zoe Bai know it was a fake divorce? At the mention of Zoe Bai, Jace Gu's expression darkened even more. You've met Zoe Bai. She came to me first, I said calmly. We had a pleasant conversation. What did you talk about? Jace Gu asked nervously. We talked a lot. I deliberately avoided specifics. In short, we both understand each other's positions very clearly. Jace Gu remained silent for a long time before saying, Norasu, I know I was wrong. Better late than never, I said mockingly, but I won't accept your apology. Why? Because some mistakes are unforgivable. I looked straight into his eyes. Jace Gu, you betrayed our marriage, and that fact will never change. But now I regret it. If regret could change anything, what would we need the police for? I cut him off. Your regret means nothing to me. Jace Gu was left speechless by my words. After a long silence, he finally said, Norasu, are you really this heartless? I'm not heartless, I'm rational, I said calmly. Being emotional only leads to repeating mistakes. Don't you have even a little softness in your heart? His voice carried a hint of pleading. No, I answered without hesitation. For you, I won't soften again. These words completely shattered Jace Gu's last illusion. At last, he realized that Norasu truly intended to sever all ties with him. Norasu, I won't give up, he said before leaving. One day, I'll prove to you that I'm genuinely remorseful. Suit yourself, I said without looking up, but please don't disturb my life anymore. After Jace Gu left, I let out a long sigh of relief. Finally, I've made myself clear. I hope he can give up. But even if he doesn't give up, it doesn't matter. After all, I'm about to leave this place soon. Once I'm in the provincial capital, it'll be even more impossible for our paths to cross. In this lifetime, I'm determined to completely break free from the past and embrace a future that truly belongs to me. The transfer procedures went smoothly, and a month later, I officially reported to the Provincial Department of Education. The accommodation arranged for me by the province was excellent. A single room with a private bathroom. Compared to the shared dormitory in the county town, it was like night and day. Comrade Nora Sue, welcome to our team. Director Wang personally greeted me. Your office is on the second floor, where you'll be responsible for the specific work of English teacher training. Thank you for your trust, Director Wang, I said. I will do my best to perform well in my work. We have great confidence in you, Director Wang said. The first training session will start next month. Take some time to familiarize yourself with the environment first. Walking into the office, I was filled with a myriad of emotions. In my previous life, I had taught in the countryside for 10 years, and it wasn't until after the reform and opening up that I had the opportunity to transfer to the county town, in just a few months this lifetime. I leaped from the county to the provincial level. This is the advantage of seizing the initiative. Hello, Professor Su, I'm your assistant, Xiao Chen, said a young man in his early 20s as he entered the office. Please let me know if there's anything I can help with. Thank you, Xiao Chen, I replied with a smile. We'll be working closely together from now on. Of course, Xiao Chen said enthusiastically. Teacher Su, is your English really that good? It's passable. I replied modestly. Why do you ask? Because everyone says you're the best English teacher in the province. Xiao Chen said admiringly. I feel honored to learn from you. You flatter me, I said. Let's learn from each other. The work quickly got on track. And the results of the first English teacher training session were surprisingly good. Key teachers from across the province praised my teaching methods highly, and after the training, they eagerly requested a second and third session. Comrade Nora Su, your work capabilities are truly impressive. Director Wang praised me during the summary meeting. In just 2 short months, you've achieved such outstanding results. This is the result of everyone's collective effort. I replied, no, it's mainly your credit, Director Wang said. I've decided to promote you to Deputy Director of the Teacher Training Division. Deputy Director, this is a full section level position, and I've only been at the provincial level for 2 months. Director Wang, my qualifications are still limited. I feigned modesty. Qualifications are one thing, but ability is more important, Director Wang said. Since you have the capability, you should take on this responsibility. In that case, I'll accept the appointment with gratitude, I replied. Returning to my dormitory that evening, I was in high spirits. In just a few short months, I had gone from being a high school teacher in a small county town to becoming a deputy division chief in the Provincial Department of Education. This speed even surprised myself. However, it also proves a truth. Opportunities are always reserved for those who are prepared. Just as I was thinking, there came a knock at the door. Who is it? I asked. Teacher Su, it's Xiao Chen. Come in. Xiao Chen walked in, looking a bit nervous. Teacher Su, someone is here to see you, he said. Who is it? An officer, says he's your friend. Xiao Chen hesitated before adding, he's waiting for you downstairs. An officer, no need to ask, it must be Jace Gu. How did he know I'm here? Tell him I won't see him. I directly refused, but he said he has something important to discuss with you, Xiao Chen said hesitantly. No matter how important it is, I won't see him, I insisted. Just tell him I'm not here. All right, I'll go tell him. Xiao Chen left. After a while, Xiao Chen returned. Teacher Su. That officer said if you don't see him, he'll keep waiting downstairs. Jace Gu is really persistent. Let him wait, I said indifferently. It's not like I need him. But isn't this a bad look? Xiao Chen said worriedly. What if someone sees? Xiao Chen had a point. If my colleagues found out a man was pestering me downstairs, it would definitely affect my reputation. Fine, I'll go down to see him, I said helplessly. We'll talk downstairs. He's not coming up, okay. Xiao Chen let out a sigh of relief. I changed into a different jacket and went downstairs to meet Jace Gu. He was standing at the entrance of the dormitory building, and a flicker of joy flashed in his eyes when he saw me coming down. Nora Su, you finally agreed to see me. Say what you need to say quickly. I still have work to do, I said coldly. Can we talk somewhere else? Here, he glanced around. Say it here, I insisted. Whatever it is, let's get it out in the open. Jace Gu paused for a moment, then said, Norasu, I want to tell you some news. What news? I broke up with Zoe Bai, he said, looking into my eyes. Completely broke up. Broke up. This was something I hadn't expected. So what? My expression didn't change at all. What does that have to do with me? I want to say, I'm free now, Jace Gu tentatively said. We can start over. Start over. I couldn't help but laugh. Jace Gu, are you mistaken about something? I'm not mistaken, he said earnestly. I know I was wrong before, but now I want to make amends. How do you make amends? I retorted. Can time flow backward? Can the hurt be erased? I can spend a lifetime making it up to you, Jace Gu said earnestly. A lifetime? I shook my head. Jace Gu, you're too confident. What do you mean? What I mean is, you're not qualified to ask for a lifetime from me. I looked straight at him. My lifetime is precious, and I won't waste it on someone who has betrayed me. These words left Jace Gu's face deathly pale. Norasu, can't you just give me one more chance? A chance, I sneered. I've already given you one. It's you who didn't cherish it. That's because I was confused at the time. Confusion is no excuse. I cut him off. An adult must take responsibility for their choices. Jace Gu was silent for a long time before saying, Norasu, I know you're very successful now, but what? But have you ever thought that living alone can be very lonely? He said, lonely. I found it ridiculous. Jace Gu, do you know what true loneliness is? What is true loneliness? True loneliness is when you're surrounded by people, yet your heart feels empty. I looked at him. Just like how it was between us during those final days, the words pierced Jace Gu's heart like needles. He suddenly remembered. There was indeed a period when his thoughts were all about Zoe Bai, and he had grown distant toward Norasu. Norasu must have been so lonely back then. Norasu, enough. I interrupted him. I've made myself very clear. Please stop pestering me. I'm not pestering you. I'm trying to save our relationship. We don't have a relationship anymore. My tone was firm. At least, I don't have feelings for you anymore. After saying that, I turned and went upstairs, ignoring his calls. Back in the dorm, I felt a bit unsettled inside, but soon calmed down. Jace Gu and Zoe Bai broke up, probably because Zoe Bai realized he still had feelings for me, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm no longer the Norasu who would soften for him. In this life, I have my own career and my own goals. I don't need to depend on anyone. 2 months later, unexpected news arrived. Jace Gu was getting married. The bride wasn't Zoe Bai, but another female officer named Chen Jing. This news was told to me by Xiao Chen, who heard it from a friend. Professor Su, have you heard? Xiao Chen said gossipily, that officer who often comes to see you is getting married. Oh. I continued reading the documents without looking up. Congratulations to him. You don't care. Xiao Chen probed cautiously. Why should I care? I retorted. His marriage is his business. It has nothing to do with me. But he used to. Let bygones be bygones. I put down the documents. Xiao Chen, don't discuss personal matters during work hours. Sorry, Teacher Su, Xiao Chen said sheepishly. Truth be told, I wasn't as calm inside as I appeared on the surface. Although I no longer love Jace Gu, hearing the news of his upcoming marriage still stirs some emotions in me. Perhaps he has truly moved on. Or perhaps he is genuinely ready to start a new life. This is for the best, for everyone involved. After returning to the dormitory from work in the evening, I received a letter. The sender is Jace Gu. I hesitated for a moment, but still opened the letter. The letter read, Norasu. By the time you read this letter, I might already be married. I know you won't attend my wedding, but I still wanted to share this news with you. Chen Jing is a good girl. She can offer me the understanding and support you couldn't. I'll treat her well and won't make the same mistakes again. I want to say I'm sorry about our past. I know I hurt you, and I understand you may never forgive me. But I truly hope you find happiness and someone who genuinely loves and understands you. This is the last letter I'll write to you. From now on, we'll truly be strangers. Take care, Jace Gu. After reading this letter, I remained silent for a long time. Perhaps Jace Gu has truly matured and finally understood what responsibility means. Maybe this time he can truly cherish Chen Jing and give her a complete family. I picked up the pen and wrote a brief reply. Jace Gu, wishing you a happy marriage and a lifetime of love. I hope you can learn from past mistakes and be a good husband. Norasu. After writing, I sent the letter out. This was indeed the last letter I wrote to him, and from then on, we truly became strangers. The next day at work, Director Wang called me in for a talk. Norasu, I have some good news for you, Director Wang said with a beaming smile. The Ministry of Education plans to promote our English teacher training model nationwide and wants to transfer you to work in Beijing. Beijing, I exclaimed in surprise. Yes. How about the position of Deputy Director in the English Department of the Ministry of Education? Are you interested? Director Wang asked. Deputy Director, this is a deputy ministerial level position. And I'm only 25, Director Wang. This opportunity, I couldn't quite believe it. You've earned it, Director Wang said. Your capabilities and achievements are evident to everyone. This promotion is well deserved. Then of course I accept, I said excitedly. When should I report for duty? It can be done next month, Director Wang said. Once you're in Beijing, your career prospects will be even greater. Moving from the provincial level to the ministerial level is another significant leap. My career is advancing rapidly according to my plans. With a bright future ahead, this is the advantage of rebirth. It allows me to seize every opportunity with precision. While packing my luggage in the evening, I came across the wedding photo with Jace Gu. In the photo, we both looked so young and were smiling brightly. Back then, I thought we would grow old together. Now it seems that life is truly unpredictable. I tore up the photo and threw it into the trash, along with those unpleasant memories. Starting tomorrow, I will be a brand new Norasu, a Norasu who belongs only to herself. In Beijing, I will encounter a broader world, more opportunities, and perhaps even meet someone truly right for me. Life is full of possibilities, and I am filled with anticipation for the future. 3 years later, 1978, I am already the director of the English department at the Ministry of Education, responsible for English education nationwide. That year, China had just begun its reform and opening up, and the importance of English education was becoming increasingly prominent. As the person in charge of national English education, my work was very busy but also highly rewarding. Director Su, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs called. They said there's an important international conference that requires your attendance. Secretary Xiao Wang reported as he entered the office. What meeting? I asked. The UNESCO World Conference on Education, held in Paris, Xiao Wang said. You will be speaking on behalf of China. Speaking on behalf of China, what an immense honor. And what a tremendous responsibility. When are we leaving? I asked. Early next month, Xiao Wang said. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs will arrange for a dedicated staff member to accompany us. All right, I'll carefully prepare my speech, I said. This is yet another milestone in my life. From being a middle school teacher in a small county town to representing the nation at an international conference, this leap still feels unbelievable even to me. But such is fate. When you seize the initiative, when you grasp the opportunity, anything becomes possible. That afternoon, I was in my office revising my speech when the secretary knocked and entered. Director Su, there's a guest here to see you, Xiao Wang said. What guest? An officer. Said to be an old friend of yours, Xiao Wang replied. His surname is Gu, Jace Gu. Why would he come to Beijing to look for me? Please show him in, I said. A few minutes later, Jace Gu entered my office. 3 years had passed since we last met, and he had changed significantly, more wrinkles on his face, and his hair had turned somewhat grey. Norasu, Director Su, he stood at the doorway, somewhat awkwardly. Have a seat, I gestured to the sofa. What brings you here? I came to Beijing for business and heard you work here, so I thought I'd visit. He sat down, his expression somewhat complicated. Just visiting is enough. I'm doing fine, I said lightly. And you? I heard you got married. Yes, 3 years now, he nodded. Chen Jing is pregnant. Just a few more months until the baby comes. Congratulations, I said sincerely. You're going to be a father. Thank you. He looked at me. Norasu, how have you been? Great, I smiled. Work is fulfilling. Life is enjoyable. Do you have a boyfriend? He asked tentatively. Not at the moment, I answered truthfully. Work keeps me too busy to think about personal matters. You should find a good man. he said, with your current status and abilities, there must be many suitors. Perhaps, I replied, not wanting to dwell on the topic. What brings you to Beijing this time? Attending a military conference, he said, about border defense construction. We chatted like this for half an hour. All about trivial matters, no mention of the past, no mention of feelings, just like two ordinary old friends catching up. It's getting late, I should go. Jace stood up. I won't disturb your work any longer. Alright, I also stood up to see him off. Wishing you success in your work and happiness in your family. You too. He walked to the door and suddenly stopped. Norasu, I wanted to say, don't say it. I interrupted him, it's all in the past. He nodded and left my office without another word. Watching his retreating figure, I felt a deep sense of calm. 3 years is enough time to heal all wounds. Now, we are truly just strangers. A month later, I flew to Paris to attend the UNESCO World Education Conference. It was my first time abroad, and everything felt so new. At the meeting, I represented China and shared our experiences in English education reform, which received high praise from representatives of various countries. Ms. Su. Your speech was excellent. An official from UNESCO said to me, China's education reforms are truly worth learning from. Thank you, I replied with a smile. We still have much room for improvement. Would you be interested in working for the United Nations? The official asked. We are in great need of talents like you. Working at the United Nations, this proposal is very appealing to me, but I still need to think it over carefully. After returning to Beijing, my work became even busier. The reform and opening up policy led to significant advancements in education, with English education receiving particular emphasis. I need to develop a new teaching syllabus and train more teachers to meet the nationwide demand for English education. Director Su, you're truly amazing. My colleagues admire me. To reach such a position at such a young age, opportunity and hard work are both indispensable. I say, moreover, the times have provided us with an excellent platform, indeed. If not for the rebirth, if not for seizing the initiative, I could never have achieved what I have today. No matter what, I have already proven my worth with my own abilities. I am no longer that weak woman dependent on men. I am an independent, strong, and capable modern woman who can change the world. This is the life I want. This is the brilliance that belongs to me.